This is code.org. Let's see what we have here. The quote scene class creates a scene that animates images of quotes in a scene. Okay? Oh, and here's quote scene. Cool. It has an instance variable for a list of image files for quotes. Instance variable. Yep. So there's the array of quotes that are string file names. Write the private method animate quote to animate each quote image by increasing its size. So it must go here, and it looks like this is going to be private, which means it's not going to be called outside of this class. So this will be a method only accessed here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the method signature, and that method signature is a scary way to just say this first line where we write the method name. Private is the access modifier, which again, students, is a scary way of saying, hey, can you call this in the theater class or not? Private means you can only call it here. Void means it doesn't return anything, not an int, not a string, nothing. And then animate, wow, I just said nothing like that. My mother would die. My students might, well, we'll see. All right, so blah, 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 blah. And we need a parameter. The parameter, it says, is going to be somewhere here, the file name of the quote. Because each quote, if you head over to manage assets, it's not magic. These are the images we're going to be using, right? So each quote is an image, and we need to pass the file name of it. So string, and I'm just going to be really clear and write quote file name, just so I don't forget what it is, because I will. All right, and then we need to start with a size of 50, so that's fine. I'll just call my variable size, because, that would make sense. And we're going to start with 50. And it suggests increasing the size by 50 each time. All right, let me take a look here. So notice, start the size of the image at 50, and while, right, so as long as, hint, they're trying to help us, I think, the size is less than 300. Well, heck, I'm not going to argue with them if they're trying to help us. I'm going to say while, and then do size is less than or equal to 300. Perfect. So they want a loop here, it seems, and we're going to be looping through to up the size of the image. All right. Now, they suggest adding 50 to size each time. Doing it at the first line or the last line. So I could do size plus equals 50 here. That's going to bother me though, because then we're never going to have an image size of actually 50. It would be 100. So I might actually do size at the bottom here. Size plus equals. And then what I'll do up here, we need to add a pause. Okay, so first we're going to need to draw the image. And if you've forgotten how to do that, because that would make sense, it's been a while, let's head over to documentation. And this is the extending the scene class, so I bet it's in there. And guys, I just want to point out, hi, I'm a teacher of this. I look this stuff up all the time. Use your documentation. It's there for a reason. All right, so that's how we draw an image. I'm actually going to Control-C that, copy that. And let's see, string, I named my quote file name. We have an X and Y, which is the position. I'll use 0 for now, just because it's easy. And size. So, all right, this is all looking good. Size plus equals, it's going to loop through. Now it has some other stuff we need to do here. Let's see. Oh, of course, we will need to pause, otherwise we're never even going to see it. It goes so fast, it'll be like instant. So I don't know, 0.2 seconds. Don't want to be here all day. Clear the scene with a color such as white. I believe that command is literally just the word clear. All right. And so right after I pause, which will let us see the image, we're going to need to clear it out. I don't want to do white. Yellow? Oh, whatever. This doesn't matter so much. But so we pause for point 2, we clear it out. However, we should never see a blank screen because this is almost instantaneous. But if we don't do that, well, here, I can show you. I actually want to test this, so I'm going to change this to public for now. I can't leave it like this. But I want to debug right away because I'm wrong a lot, and it's good to test as you work. My scene dot animate quote. And then I'm going to pass it a file name directly and see what I need to debug. Ooh, and you see what I mean by, like, this is a shadow, and that's why we need to clear the screen. So I picked yellow. Ooh, fancy. And there we go. All right, so that's working thus far. Hint, So if you want to center the image, you can do this. This wasn't in the requirements that I saw listed. It is nice to do, and since they're giving me the code, I'll add it. Int x equals that. Then we'll do int y equals, and the only distinction here is get height, right? And so we're just getting the width and the height of this space that's getting drawn on. We're dividing it by 2, and then we're subtracting the size also being divided by 2. The reason we're dividing by 2 is that gives us, well, the dead center. So now instead of doing 0, 0, I'll go ahead and use that. Let's see if it still works. Well, that does not look right at all. It only pushed it. Oh, I need this in the loop because we need to change, since size is changing. Size is changing as we loop. So I'm actually going to need to be having this calculated right here. That would make sense. Perfect. All right, that's looking good. So now let's go ahead and do this other part, which is us create the, and this one's going to be, so I need to flip this back to private because that's what it should be. It's going to only be run from within the class. And this is our public method. Transverse the quoted array, which is a fancy way of saying move through it. And we're going to call this each time. Okay, and we should already have access to the array. We do, quotes. I'll do like an enhanced loop for a string file name quotes. And then I just need to call animate quote with the file name. You can also, of course, do for int here too. Works just the same. That's looking good. Okay. Let's go ahead and test our fancy quote maker out. I need to flip this to create scene. And there are no parameters for that guy because we passed this array in the constructor. Ooh, make today amazing. Stay positive. You've got this. Wow, that was fast. Hey, is that cool? Fancy quote machine done. Onward.